So boys and girls, we are now fast approaching the busy winter period in the Premier League, and it's fair to say it's been a pretty poor start to the new season for Leicester under Rodgers. It's been full of highs and mostly lows, and realistically boys, things need to change if Leicester want to be successful this campaign, and pretty quickly. So with that being said boys and girls, in today's video I'll be going through 3 things which are going wrong at Leicester so far this season, and we're going to also go through how Leicester kind of fix those problems, and hopefully we can fix them. Yeah, well, without further ado, here we go. Yes lads, how you all doing? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now today boys and girls, I'm going through 3 things which are going wrong at Leicester so far this season. Realistically, there's probably more than 3 because we've been utter crap, but yeah, 3 sounds better, so let's roll with that. But just before we do proceed on with today's video boys and girls, if you guys do go on to enjoy today's video, let me know by dropping a big thumbs up down below, and also subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already. We're now on the road to 3,000 subscribers. Any help towards that would be massively appreciated. Yeah, but without further ado, let's jump straight into today's video and let's discuss Leicester's problems so far this season. So starting things off then, probably the most easiest problem to pick out, Leicester's defence so far this season. And I'm mostly looking at Kagler, Seung-Shu and Yannick Vestergaard. So of course, just watching Leicester games, you can tell that our defence is absolutely all over the place right now. But in today's video, I'll be going in depth on all the stats, relating the stats to other teams and really finding out what the key problems are. Looking at the stats, which I'll go through in a few moments time, our defence is mainly our biggest downfall. Yes, we have key injuries, so of course Fofana and James Justin and Johnny Evans missed a large portion of the season as well, but overall it still isn't good enough at all, and based on the stats, which like I said I'll go through in a minute, it's pretty horrendous boys. So then, looking at Leicester's defensive stats so far this season based on the amount of shot space and goals conceded. So in open play, our expected goals is 10, and from set pieces the expected goals conceded is 3.5. Open play in real goals we've conceded 11, and from set pieces we have conceded 4, and Leicester have faced 129 shots so far this season, and those 129 shots faced this season is worse than Norwich. And that is also the 19th worst stat in the whole league, just behind Newcastle in 19th place. Yeah, the amount of shots we've faced so far this season is utterly embarrassing. And based on that, of course, Kasper Schmeichel has made his 2nd most saves so far this season, which is obviously good for Kasper, but Kasper Schmeichel should not be facing 129 shots in a third of the season. And to only concede 11 goals from that is a massive surprise so far. Of course, the XG is only 10, which is also quite surprising, but in general, just to face 129 shots is unbelievable. And if Leicester carry on like that, we are no way going to get Champions League football or Europa League, and realistically we'll probably struggle to get a top 10 finish. But of course the main question is, how can Leicester fix that defensive issue? As always boys and girls, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll quickly go through my opinions in a few moments time. But yeah, could it be a switch to the back 4 formation from the back 5? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Of course, in a few weeks time we have James Justin and Wesley Fofana returning back to the side, which is obviously absolutely massive. And it also looks like Johnny Evans is picking up speed as well. He put in a fantastic performance for the Northern Ireland international squad, keeping a clean sheet against Italy a few nights ago as well. So things are definitely on the up in that department, but it's going to be very interesting to see how Leicester do play on the weekend against Chelsea. But overall, still, defensively so far this season, like I said, things have to change. In my personal opinion, I think Leicester need to switch back to the back 4. Yes, playing a back 5 obviously has more defenders, but playing a back 4 will of course allow Leicester to have 2 fullbacks, the wingers, and the wingers can definitely help to track back. Overall, so far this season, just playing a 5 at the back, the wing backs have been overloaded way too many times this season, forcing the defenders out. Of course, that gives massive space just in the middle for the strikers to drift across, and that has been our main downfall so far this season, looking at the goals Leicester have conceded. I'll talk about the formation towards the end of today's video in a separate different point, but overall, I think the back 4 would definitely suit Leicester better, and overall it can get the best out of, especially the 2 fullbacks as well, really pushing up, and defensively, of course, the 2 wingers can really support them as well. We need to go back to the basics. That's the most important thing defensively, and of course we need to cut out the errors as well, which on several occasions this season have led to goals. Of course, realistically, can Rodgers have a say in that? Probably not. Of course, also the midfielders have to take responsibility as well. The tracking of runners has been a major issue as well for Leicester. That needs to be changed, of course, and Diddy in there will definitely help. Samore should be able to do it, but he hasn't really done it. Of course, the goal against SPORTSA Moscow when Victor Moses scored, we have 5 players around him, no one picked him up. Of course, with Justin Fofana coming back to the side, that'll definitely help. But we just need to pick up the runners, trap the runners, don't allow the space, and we should be right. And of course, that goal came once again down just down the fullbacks where Ryan Bertrand was out of position, and then of course that led to the goal in the game, a stupid goal to concede. But in my opinion, a single clean sheet could really turn this around. The game against Watford in a few weeks at home could be a perfect opportunity to do so. Also, Legia Warsaw as well. Of course, Chelsea before that will be difficult. Yeah, boys and girls, that's about it then for discussing defence so far this season. Of course, this has been our major problem so far this season. Fingers crossed we can change it. Of course, going back to the basics, the return of Justin and Fofana will be key as well. So fingers crossed Leicester can turn it around. Moving on then to the second problem so far this season, the amount of chances created in front of goal. Now, of course, it's going to be tough when you have an absolutely crap defence to even create any chances and score goals. But, you know, when we have got into positions, we haven't been too clinical, and realistically we just haven't created enough chances. Quickly looking at Leicester's attacking stats then so far this season, 104 shots so far this season. Expected goals from open play is 11.2, the actual goals is 13. And of course, expected goals from set pieces is 3, and the actual goals from set pieces is 3 as well. But of course, the most concerning thing there is that Leicester are actually outscoring their XG goals so far this season. That is predicted at 11.2, and Leicester have scored 13 goals. Realistically, we shouldn't have scored as many goals as we had so far this season. And of course, you can completely see why. Leicester have scored some absolute screamers so far this season. Of course, you know, that is good. But obviously the XG on those screamers are going to be fairly low. Focusing on the 104 shots faced so far this season in comparison to other teams, Liverpool sit on 153, West Ham sit on 124 as well. So that shows a clear difference in teams around Leicester who are fighting for the Champions League spaces. Simply, we haven't created enough chances and taken enough shots so far this season. Also, if you look at Leicester's passing stats so far this season, 117 times Leicester have completed 10 plus passes going forward, and of course 25 build-up attacks, which, you know, compared to others isn't that good. As always, boys and girls, let me know your thoughts on Leicester's chances created so far this season in the comment section down below. How can we fix this problem? Let me know your thoughts down below. I think at times though we have to increase the speed at what Leicester play at. Some games so far this season, it has been so slow. The passing around the back needs to speed up. We need to play with high intensity, set the tempo, play our game and really push on to our opponent and make them tired, because, you know, on Leicester's day we can definitely do so. We've got fantastic players in the team. You can pick out a pinpoint passing likes of Tillemans. James Maddison can get the ball on the half turn, make things happen. Barnes and Lookman can run in. Of course, Vardy in behind is a fantastic option as well. Of course, the two fullbacks of Castagna and Ricardo going forward as well. We have a lot of great options going forward, and so far this season we're just not utilising them, and once more it comes back from the defence once again. We're just moving the ball so slowly at times. So yeah, lads, that's about it then for discussing our chances created so far this season. So yeah, quickly moving on then to the final point. And that point is the formation, which has been another problem for Leicester so far this season. Of course, we started things off playing the usual 4-3-3 formation. Didn't really work, and then we went back to the 5-3-2 formation as well. Both of these formations have worked quite well at times, and of course on the opposite, both of these formations have not worked too well at times either. However, of course, our standout victory so far this season, the 4-2 win against Manchester United, was used just within the 5-3-2 formation with the two strikers up top, which is obviously key in this formation. Daka, Iheanacho, Vardy, how can you all fit into one side? That's the main issue which Brendan Rodgers have is, and of course if he switches back to the 4-3-3 formation, realistically it would just be the one. But on the opposite of that, like I said earlier on in today's video, I think switching back to the 4-3-3 formation will just really suit Leicester much more better. We can defend better, and for me it's just a lot more compact. We can just mark the players up, block out the space, and overall I think the 4-3-3 could just definitely work much better for Leicester. If you look at the game against Arsenal, we started off with the 5-3-2 formation, didn't work, switched to the 4-3-3 at half time, used Barnes and Lookman, and it really did work. Of course, we didn't score because Ramsdale was, you know, obviously prime Neuer, but, you know, in that second half, for example, we created so many chances. But on the opposite of that, in the Carabao Cup fixture against Brighton, where Leicester won on penalties, we started off with the 5-3-2, worked quite well, dominating the game, switched to 4-3-3 in the second half. Looks all over, it just looked crap, to be honest. Personally, I would go with the 4-3-3 formation against Chelsea, but of course, it's a major headache for Brendan Rodgers. As always, boys and girls, and I hand it over to you. What formation should Leicester go with to continue with the season? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. So, boys and girls, that's it for today's video. Of course, in today's video, I went through 3 things going wrong at Leicester City so far this season. Of course, the main thing is how those things can be changed. Of course, we also looked at the main tactics and all the stats behind those reasons basically so far this season. So if you guys have enjoyed today's video, let me know by dropping a like, subscribe as well to the channel if you guys have not already. Most importantly, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. The international break is almost over. We've got some big matchday vlogs coming. We've got Chelsea, Legia Warsaw, Watford, Newcastle, Liverpool. So that'll be the next 5 or so matchday vlogs. Yeah, it's going to be decent, boys and girls. Fingers crossed Leicester can return back to the best. Of course, matchday vlog on the weekend for Chelsea. Usual content will return on Friday night with the match preview. Yeah, boys, I'm SPORTSA, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video. Peace, guys.